Hey guys, what's up? Ross Christifulli here, and in this video I'm going to give you a complete update and understanding as to what I've been doing and separating in my business. So I want to address something in an email in a minute that I got from somebody yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And I'll read that to you. But first, I just want to help you guys understand, because you're probably noticing that Lead Carrot is now looking different than what's this lead tracker thing over here. So I'll make it real clear. And the reason why, I guess I'll go ahead and read this email, is Matt, I'll block out his last name, said this: "Hey Ross, I must admit I was one of those that got confused, and I still am. I am not interested in Lead Carrot because it only scrapes about 10 businesses in each location in Australia. It's kind of pointless. But I'm curious about your live transfer system. Are you still doing it? It sounded like a solid business. If not, do you really think that selling someone else's software is wise, given you will still need to support it? If you're not providing support, you need to make that much clearer in your next video. I would never get into that model just to end up answering dumb questions forever and not own the software either. Seems short-sighted when live transfer was all yours. Looking forward to your next video, hopefully answering the above. Your explainer video on live transfer was bang on." Okay, so first off, I appreciate you following the content, and also I appreciate the compliment there about our explainer video. I want to address from the get-go what we're doing with Lead Carrot, because I think that some people are confused, and rightfully so. If I want to take you back through the history of Lead Carrot, because it helps you to understand what Lead Carrot is, what it's all about, and really what got us our start. But when Lead Carrot first started, we were a data scraping company. We were known for scraping data. That is what we were known for. And that's still today. If you audit like all of our customer base, I would say only about maybe 10 to 15% use any of the other features outside of scraping. They just want to scrape data. That's what they want. And we were exhausting our development resources trying to build this CRM as well. This was going back before we even did anything with Go High Level. Some people were like, "Wow, you've built your entire CRM on top of Go High Level? I didn't know it this whole time." Well, you didn't know it because it wasn't like that. Like, we actually were a from scratch CRM that we were building on our own from the get-go. And I needed some features for my live transfer agency. By the way, yes, live transfer is still alive and well. We're doing it slightly different than before because ad costs and all that have changed. And so live transfer is still a piece of our offer, but it's not the whole thing. I'll be making an updated explainer video on that in the near future. But going back to Lead Carrot, I needed features that Lead Carrot didn't have yet, and it would be 7 months to a year on the roadmap, maybe, if I put it in. So I started looking for other options, and I was almost avoiding Go High Level because in my mind I viewed them as competition. And then when I went and bit the bullet and got on to Go High Level, there was so much going on, so many features, so many things, that I was like, why am I trying to recreate? Like, why are we exhausting our development resources where we're both going after the same audience, B2B marketers? I'm thinking, why am I trying to exhaust my audience to build the same thing they've already got, but they don't have the data piece of it? So we looked at that and we said, you know what? Why don't we just go deep on, like, we were thinking about this. It wasn't like over the course of like one day. Like, we thought about this for a while. We had many meetings, and we decided, let's go deeper on data, which you're about to see. Let's go deeper on data and scratch this project of the CRM piece and just white label their CRM. It's great. We changed up the UI to the way we wanted it. I'm sure you've seen that. And go deep on that. So that was great and dandy. And we did that, and people have been happy, very happy with that setup. But here's the downside to it. So the Go High Level community has become a great community for us to be a part of. We love the community now. Lots of great people, serious business owners in there, and they've approached and they've said, "Ross, we really like Lead Carrot, especially because we can actually bake it into our own CRM and like have it on our own stuff, and we would love to be an affiliate for Lead Carrot with our white label CRM, but we can't, because if I tell somebody to go sign up with Lead Carrot and bring their API back to my CRM, they're going to go to yours and they're going to see the whole CRM, all of the automations and everything that's there." And I'm thinking, it's a good point. So then we looked at it and we said, what is our real end goal? To grow a CRM company or to grow Lead Curate the data company? And it was, well, let's grow Lead Curate the data company. So we separated the two, and now you have something called Lead Tracker, and then you have something called Lead Curate, two completely different offerings. But they are both still supported. I don't know why anyone thinks that because we separated Lead Curate from Lead Tracker means that there's not customer support. Like, we have a chat widget where during business hours you can get a hold of anyone within like 30 to 60 seconds usually. So it's still heavily supported. In fact, Lead Tracker is getting a new CEO because we are going to go full force on Lead Tracker. You will be seeing that very, very soon, that I will not be the face of Lead Tracker. We've hired someone to drive that. It's being treated like its own separate business that still utilizes the same resources of Lead Curate, such as support, because we don't need to duplicate all of that. And yes, Lead Curate will be baked into Lead Tracker, but it will be a little bit more costly. We're going to charge more money just because we don't want to slap the fist that's feeding us. Meaning, if some people are bringing us affiliates, I doubt they'll ever find out what Lead Tracker even is, because we'll never hit up our email list with that stuff. But the point is that we're that's what the plan is. So when it comes to seeing us shuffle things and change things up a little bit, it has nothing to do with supporting a customer. Doesn't mean that, all of a sudden they're not supporting Lead Tracker. No, we are. It's probably better than most people support, just because of the fact that we've just hired 3 extra people. In fact, we now have somebody who's going to be doing, I think she already started doing after-hours support. I'd have to talk to Yerlin. Point is that Lead Curate and Lead Tracker are alive and well. Now let's address real quick the live transfer agency. So we are still doing live transfer, and our circle is still doing the live transfer agency. There's 2 change-ups that we've made to it. The first change, and it came right around the election time, because here's what happened for me. I had these personal injury live transfer clients that I just flat rate per live transfer. And when ad costs started like really getting gouged, even on YouTube, because a lot of people came over to YouTube. YouTube costs have gone up. It's still a great platform to be on, but the costs have gone up. But when pricing started getting harder on ads, my cost went up, but we didn't necessarily go back and tell our clients we want to change the prices right away, just because we didn't know, is it going to come back down, and we didn't want to jerk our clients around like that. And we probably on about 20 to 30 of our attorneys, out of, we'll just say there's probably about 140, 150 attorneys max. We have roughly just over 200 clients, but only about 130 to 150 of those are attorneys. I'd have to actually do the math and check it out. But I would say about 20 to 30 of them, we were break even on them. Some of them maybe even taking a small loss. But the profits from our other clients were completely over covering that. So what we just recently did was we moved them onto a brand new model and got rid of, at least put the old model on hold until we start seeing some stabilizing in our cost. And I'll explain what the new model is. On the new model, what we do is we don't sell it as a live pay per live transfer. We're selling it as, we're going to send you qualified leads that meet all these filters the same way. And if they don't answer you after 24 hours, it drops into our call center, and our call center will continue following up on it until a live transfer occurs. Let me explain the benefit behind that. Is that, let's say that you have a client that after 30 days, you have already gotten him 3 signed up fee agreements, but you still owe him 5 live transfers. If your ad cost has gone through the roof, you're now moving into break even or loss territory. But if you were not selling it per live transfer, you were selling it for we do it actually at kind of the old model of a retainer plus ad spend, but it's positioned differently in our program, so that way it feels different to the client, which you can learn more about that in our program. What ends up happening is 2 things. They are happy, like, yeah, I got 3 cases out of this. I got these leads. I still have a pipeline full of leads. Yeah, we're good to go. Let's do this again. And let's say you do get the random person. It lowers your risk. Let's say you get the random person who decides that they want their money back, or they want to do a chargeback. By running ads off of their card, that ad spend now becomes them in Google. See, one of the things that we realized over the last 6 months is that most agency owners are not in the same position as myself. Meaning, if I have a client who does a chargeback, which very rarely do we I actually have only had one chargeback on my account, and I'd say the last 6 months. But let's say you have a client do a chargeback, and they paid you ad spend in the fee, so you flat rated it. That means that you're not going to get your money back from Google, and you're going to have to give them their money back, because you're typically going to lose the chargeback. My point behind saying that is a new agency owner can't take on that level of risk. So you're better off separating the two. So that way, if in the event you had to do a refund or a chargeback, the money that you spent on ads came off their own card. That's now between them and Google. It has nothing to do with you. So we've kind of shaped the program around beginners a little bit more, because that's what we found, was that it was just really hard for people sometimes to put all those pieces and take on a level of risk. And so you learn it the hard way, because we've had some people blow through and be very successful. And then we've had a couple people where they just struggled getting their first client that result. And then because of that, they ended up going a little bit backwards. So hopefully that makes sense. And that's just my transparency, because we don't ever want to fake anything with anybody. That's just what happens. It's called business. It's called entrepreneurship. And I think one of the things that I'd say over the last 6 months that I've really become aware to is that marketers, people in my position who sell programs, it's almost as if our job in the past was to try to make it seem as least scary as possible to start an agency or to sell you an opportunity, remove as much risk from you as possible, so that way you think this is going to be a landslide. You go in and then you're struggling like crazy and you're unexpected. What I have been finding is that the people who I tell them, listen, this is going to be difficult, it's going to take work, but it's very rewarding and it's very cash positive if you do it right. And you can actually really set yourself up for a nice future, because you can start investing in other things that continue to pay you. But I give them the proper expectation that, listen, this is not a walk in the park. Those people tend to be a little bit more successful. So I would rather sell less programs. I would rather someone say, ooh, he just said that, some of the people in his program didn't get results. Yeah, that's true. And I bet you any program that you go to, there's people that didn't get results. You just don't hear about it. You just don't see it. And so, if people are turned off by honesty and transparency, they're not a fit for the program anyways. In our every Tuesday, and I'm not always in there on Tuesday every Tuesday, because we have my father does the sales coaching and he leads that. I try to get in there as much as I can, but on Tuesdays in that coaching session, there's always a point where the whole group can open up and talk, and we want them to tell us what you're facing, tell us what you're struggling with, and so forth. And in no way is it a dictatorship where it's almost like, because I've been in part of programs where if you are struggling with something, they almost shut you up because they don't want other people to hear it. And that's just not what we do. I know this is way off topic from the email, but it is what it is. So, and what that's done is it's drawn in more serious business people for us. The people that are coming in now, they are not looking for the shiny object, get rich quick. Over the last 2 to 3 months, we have had just so much good, positive enrollments in our program. I can hear my kids crying on the other side of that RV. Just because of the way that we're positioning it now. It's more like you can go, there's these flash in the pan agency programs. If you want to run a professional agency, you can come over here, but we're going to be honest and transparent with you and tell you exactly what it's going to take. If you think you have the stomach for it, if you think you can afford it, if you think that you've got what it takes, we are happy to work with you, but we won't overpromise it. In fact, sometimes when people are on a sales call with us, they'll say, do you think I can get my first client in the first month? Well, you could, but you're probably not. What? That's not what you're supposed to tell me. I'm supposed to be able to see how I quickly get my money back. Yeah, but I don't know how good you are at selling. You could suck. I don't know. You could be really bad, and we have a lot more to fix until we get on the phone. I mean, I've had people who are literally like, no, I got closing down. I'm really good at sales. I'm really good at sales. And you put them on 100 sales calls, and they can't close a darn thing. And it takes more work to get them going. And so it's an art. It truly is, and it's not for the faint of heart. And agency is not for everyone. If you've been going back and forth like, maybe I want to do e-commerce, maybe I want to do agency, you're better off probably going to do an e-commerce, because agency is a lot more work up front, and then eventually it starts becoming a little bit more passive. But it's still a lot more work up front. And when it rains on agency, it seems to pour, and when it's good, it's great. What I mean by that is there's some days where, like for instance, yesterday, it's a Thursday, I take off every Thursday, and so I can gauge if work is work to me Monday through Friday, but Thursdays are my day off. And so I can gauge if things are going well or if something needs to be addressed by how Thursdays are. Well, this past Thursday was amazing. I wasn't interrupted once. But then 2 Thursdays ago, I woke up to, people messaging us like crazy because automations were broken and this, and things weren't going right for a campaign. And, just like, it seemed like it all piled on. And I'd probably say I spent about 4 hours on my day off working, which I know you might be thinking, boo-hoo, your day off. But that's just how I gauge it. And so, it seems like to me when things are good in agency, they're good. When things are bad, they're bad. And I got a video coming out on that very, very soon as well. Hopefully this has been enjoyable. I just realized it's been 16 minutes of me ranting, and so I'll probably go ahead and stop. Because I'm just thinking to myself, I'm in the woods, and this is going to take a long time to upload. But if you guys enjoyed this, please subscribe below. To the 5 or 6 of you that always give me a thumbs down, thank you for watching. I appreciate you very much. For the 13 of you guys on my last video who gave me a thumbs up, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, what you guys think about just programs and marketers in general. Do you think that the transparency of telling people that yes, there's a good chance you could fail, but here's what would happen if you succeed? Do you like that honesty and that transparency? Or would you rather somebody just try to do nothing but to make you believe, so that way you have a shining chance of hitting it potentially through belief? I don't know. I'm under the impression that people have a better understanding of what they're getting into are going to be better off. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys, and I've actually contradicted myself on that before because, we'll talk about that in another video. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Once again, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Thank you.